Then you see someone with a sign that says, chemo this morning.
Garth tonight.
Coming up on Cedar Valley Today, find out how one woman battling cancer is staying positive.
And the missing Wartburg student has now been found. Find out what's next for Salamu Ahmed.
And Twitter backlash. Wartburg men's soccer receives heat on Twitter from Loras College's president. Hear Wartburg's response. This is Cedar Valley Today.
Hello and welcome to Cedar Valley Today. I'm Brady Van Sickle.
And I'm Kaylin Thompson. Salamu Muhammad Ahmed was a second-year student at Wartburg College until he was reported missing on October 31st. But as of November 11th, he has been found. Cedar Valley Today's Ashley Davis is here with a full report on the investigation.
Salamu Muhammad Ahmed was last seen on Wartburg's campus on October 22nd. That was just going into fall break. Now here's what we found out since Ahmed was expected to be missing. It was his father who notified Wartburg officials on October 31st after not hearing from him for several days. Wartburg security spoke with Ahmed's friends, professors, and roommate for any clues as to where he was, but no one had any idea where he was. Wartburg security then went on to file a missing persons report with the Waverly Police that same day. At that point, the investigation was in the Waverly Police Department's hands. That was until a reporter with the Waterloo Cedar Falls Courier searched Ahmed's name on the internet, which turned up a mugshot of him in a Cook County, Illinois jail. The discovery was made that Ahmed had been there since October 24th after being arrested on a burglary charge. Ahmed has been withdrawn from his classes at Wartburg and is now listed as a former student of the college. Although this case is now in Cook County's hands, Wartburg is relieved he is no longer missing.
We are very glad that he was found. I don't know what condition he is in, if he's unharmed or not, but we are very glad as a college and thankful that he was found.
Ahmed's bail is set at $25,000, a fee which Wartburg says they will not be paying.
Now Ahmed's first court appearance was yesterday and he was appointed a public defender. Several Wartburg students are also trying to raise money for Ahmed's bail. Check out the Wartburg circuit for more as this story continues to unfold.
Fourth-year Wartburg student TJ Peters discovered something fishy while cleaning his fish tank this past semester. While noticing the algae-covered walls and the murky color of the fish tank's freshly changed water, Peters decided to investigate. After a few tests, an alarmingly high level of nitrates was discovered. The EPA's nitrate maximum containment level for drinking water is 10 parts per million. Each test from various tap water locations on campus yielded a result of over 40 parts per million, over 4 times the EPA approved amount for drinking water.
My main concern is, I'm drinking the same water that I'm putting in here and they can't even live in it, so what effects is that going to have on a person,
Cedar Valley Today is continuing to investigate this lead.
Last weekend, the Wartburg men's soccer team traveled to Loras College in Dubuque to take on the Dewhawks.
While the game kept the audience on the edge of their seats, Wartburg came out victorious, claiming the Iowa Conference tournament title. But the rivalry continued off the pitch on Twitter. Here to tell us more is Trumpet sports editor Nathan Ford. Nathan, good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us. So can you kind of explain what happened after the game?
Yeah, so obviously it went to a penalty kick shootout, which Wartburg won 5-4. When the last goal was scored, Wartburg players celebrated like normal, and about an hour later, Loras president Jim Collins tweeted that he was proud of Loras men's soccer team for displaying class in the face of classlessness. And although he didn't mention anybody specifically, any player or any team specifically, it was clearly intended to be an attack on Wartburg's team for potential actions that they had during the game or after the game.
You said this is an attack on their reactions. Obviously, this is a very joyous occasion for the men's soccer team. Can you describe their reactions following the game?
Yeah, it was a very emotional game, a very physical game in this rivalry. I think there were 9 yellow cards handed out. And after such an emotional victory, you expect the players to have some sort of celebration, which they did. The players kind of ran up to Anderson, celebrated with him. The penalty kick shootout took place on the side of the field that Loris's fans were on, and the majority of Wartburg's players then ran to Wartburg's fans to celebrate, but a couple stayed back and potentially had some unsportsmanlike actions towards Loris's crowd. I didn't see it, and the video that we have, as well as the video that Loris College Television has, follows the majority of the Wartburg players. So unfortunately, whatever Collins felt like prompted that tweet is not documented.
And then you said Loris College president has yet to return any comments or any attempts to reach out to him?
That's correct. We've tried calling him a couple times and left messages, but have not heard back. And as for Wartburg's side of it, Coach Kirk Artist simply said we are moving forward.
All right. Appreciate your time this morning, Nathan. Thank you. For more information on the Wartburg men's soccer team as they take on Milwaukee School of Engineering this Saturday, check out the Wartburg Circuit.
Governor Terry Branstad said fixing roads is a top priority in an interview last Thursday. 2 proposals have already been considered, one calling for an increase in the fuel tax by 10 cents per gallon over 3 years. The other one, called the hybrid approach, decreases gas prices but increases sales tax. However, Governor Branstad did not back any specific plans but said that he is open to raising the state's fuel tax. And coming up next, one Osage woman is trying to stay positive during her fight with cancer and has earned the attention of the nation. Stay with us.
Joining us now is Alyssa Kozak with a unique story of how one woman is staying positive through her cancer battle.
Thank you, Brady. This past weekend, Osage resident Teresa Shaw received Garth Brooks' guitar because of her sign stating chemo this morning, Garth tonight, enjoying the dance. But what really caught the eye of Garth Brooks was her positivity.
My fear would be you ever think that I did it for any other reason than it was a nice moment.
No,
it was beautiful.
You're just an amazing guy, and and a human being.
It's all about the music.
Appreciate that. The music helps me. The music has always helped me through situations, and I love your music.
Cancer, a word most people think is scary when they hear it, but for Teresa, she knows God is on her side and that she will get through it.
And I have my days at home where it really sucks, and and I want to be done with it, and wishing I could be over and that. But attitude, I think, is a big part of your healing, and so you've got to keep that positive attitude.
Earlier this June, Teresa did a self-exam and found a lump, which caused her to go in and get a mammogram and an ultrasound.
My tumor didn't show up on my mammogram. My tissue is so dense that it didn't show, and it was a 2-inch tumor, so it was pretty large.
She was diagnosed with invasive ductal carcinoma, a triple negative, which is a very aggressive form of cancer. A Praying for Teresa page on Facebook was created, which has grown to over 14,000 likes.
All the positive messages, and I don't think I've had one negative message out of this, and it's been a blessing, and it just helps my strength, and I'm ready to get to my next. I have chemo tomorrow, hopefully, and so I'm ready just to get going and get my 3 chemo treatments done.
With the help of her faith and trust in God, as well as family members and friends, she was able to get back to being in the positive mindset even on the toughest days.
Try to stay as positive as you can. Surround yourself with people. Let people help you.
Teresa goes through chemo on Friday mornings. When she bought the tickets for the Garth Brooks concert in Minneapolis on Friday night, she figured she would be able to handle it, and turns out it benefited her in a unique way, getting his guitar and surprising him on Entertainment Tonight a few days later.
I mean, just sitting on the couch with Garth Brooks, I think I was still in shock, and it was just like, oh my gosh, he's right here.
Teresa says it was fun getting to travel and to meet all of the celebrities, but she's glad she is back home in her small town of Osage with the most comforting thing she has, her dog.
I just want to thank everyone for just all their support and all their prayers, and it's like, how can I not beat this with everybody behind me? So I'll get there.
Teresa says she is blessed with supportive family and friends, which help her stay positive. Also, knowing that God is by her side helps her become stronger every day. If you would like to donate money to help those struggling with cancer, please reach out to your local Relay for Life or the American Cancer Society.
Thanks, Alyssa. And coming up on Cedar Valley Today, Wartburg College student body president Jacob Martin resigns. Found out why after the break.
During the Student Senate meeting Thursday, Jacob Martin announced his resignation from the position of Wartburg Student Body President. He is stepping down to personal health issues, and he will be leaving this semester to go back to his home in Pella, Iowa. He hopes to be back for second semester, and in his absence, Vice President Terry Mueller will take over as president, while the student executive team goes through the transition process. Joining us now is Terry to talk about the direction Student Senate will take in Martin's absence. Terry, good morning.
Good morning.
First of all, how is Jacob doing in this time?
Jacob's doing fine. Thank you for asking.
Okay. Our first question would be, what is the immediate direction that Student Senate is going to take in this absence to try and move forward?
Student Senate does have protocols in place for situations such as this built into our Constitution and our bylaws. So we'll be abiding by that process and moving forward. Basically, the first thing that will happen is I will appoint a new vice president to fill that role, and that will get passed hopefully in Senate next week with a 2/3 majority vote.
And so you said you'll be appointing a new vice president, so you hope
Yes.
to have that all resolved next week, you said?
I hope so.
Okay. And what has been the immediate reaction from the student senators following the announcement yesterday?
The student senators have been very understanding. There's obviously a lot of factors going on, and so the most important part is that we continue moving forward. We are a team, we're not just one person, so we have a lot going for us, and our chief objective is always to represent students, and that's what we'll do.
And then how are you going to try, as now assuming the role of president, to try to lead the student senate back into more of like a approach of a business as usual?
I think the most important part, kind of as I mentioned before, is the moving forward. We do have many objectives in place that Jacob and I ran as a team, and that still is a constant factor that is part of the process of being Senate. And so the objectives that we had in place and the direction that we want to go is still constant throughout this process. And so because of that, it will be pretty streamlined.
And now, he hopes to return second semester. Do you think he'll try and return to student senate in some capacity when he comes back?
That's up to him, but I hope so, and I think so.
And then, so what are the factors that are going to come into, like, let's talk about the process of appointing a new vice president. You said it's going to require a 2/3 vote.
Mm-hmm.
How do you pull in potential candidates to fill the role of vice president?
Basically, it's all at the discretion of the president at the time. And so my process looks like I look at a variety of different candidates. It's not an interview process, it's an appointment process. And so I look at current senators, I look at current students, obviously looking for someone with experience who is ready to step into a leadership position. Fortunately, we have a great group of student leaders, so I anticipate finding someone who will do a wonderful job.
All right, I appreciate your time this morning, Terry. Thank you.
Thank you.
On behalf of Cedar Valley Today, we send Jacob well wishes, and we hope to see him back on campus soon. And to learn more about the direction of Student Senate, log on to the Wartburg Circuit. Coming up next on Cedar Valley Today, Waterloo is holding an event hoping to help kids in need of a home. Stay with us.
November is National Adoption Month, and Iowa KidsNet is bringing awareness by holding an Adoption Friday celebration today from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Blackhawk County Courthouse. Here with us this morning is Bambi Schrader, a licensing supervisor for Iowa KidsNet. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
So, can you explain what will be happening at the event today?
Sure. Today is Adoption Friday, and what we will be doing is celebrating adoptions of 14 families that will be adopting 21 children. And what we have found in the Iowa court system is that sometimes adoptions take a second place to criminal activities or court hearings, and so we have judges that volunteer their time and court reporters, and we just finalize adoptions back to back and celebrate that with the families.
So, what is Iowa KidsNet trying to accomplish through this event?
We want to bring awareness to the fact that we need more foster and adoptive homes throughout our state. Having families adopt children is kind of like a double-edged sword. We get stability and permanency for the families, but then sometimes the families can't maintain their license because they're full or they need to take care of the needs of their children, so then that makes them withdraw their license, so we need more homes. In the state of Iowa, we have about 4,000 children in foster care, but only 2,300 foster homes. So we need more homes all the time, and especially those that would be concurrent homes that would then possibly adopt the kids.
So with Iowa KidsNet, what is their mission as a whole?
Iowa KidsNet is to recruit, license, match, and then support Iowa foster and adoptive families. So we're a collaborative agency, a partner agency with DHS, and we work with them to then go everything from when the families start looking at becoming foster and adoptive parents all the way through post-adoption services, which would support families after they adopt.
So why is adoption such an important issue like today?
Because kids need and deserve permanency and stability. We have children that are in the foster care system that may be in there a year to 3 or 4 years, and they really need to know that they deserve and should have a stable environment, that they don't get moved around. And of course, our first goal with foster care is always to get the kids back home. But as with Adoption Friday, that's not always the case. And then we need to be able to say to the children, this is going to be your permanent forever family, and you're going to be here, and part of this family.
So for families looking to adopt, what are some key first steps for them?
The first step would just be make the inquiry call. You would contact Iowa KidsNet, and you could do that through their 1-800 number at 1-800-243-0756. Or you can go on the website, which is www.iowakidsnet.com, and you just make an inquiry. And I think a lot of people don't make that first call because they think, oh, I won't qualify because of this, or I won't qualify because of that. And reality is that if people just look at, we accept families that are married or single, widowed or divorced, same sex. You don't have to be rich. You have to have financial stability. You can own your own home or be renting. There's just a lot of things that would qualify people that they think they won't. So really just make that first call and attend that first orientation, and most people understand that they would do a good job at this.
So besides adoption, what are some other ways the public can help these Iowa foster youth?
To support. We have a lot of families that they're dealing with some kids with challenging behavior. So be understanding and supportive. Help out. We get families that get kids in the middle of the night and may not always have the car seats or the clothing or all the things they need. Step up and offer those stuff. If you have that, or you have monetary ability to help a foster family get that stuff, how much better for the family and the child. And also to be supportive of the birth families, because that is something that's very critical to us, especially with foster care, is to work alongside with the birth families, because again, the goal is to get the kids back home. If it goes to adoption, what better for the child than for us to have a good relationship with the birth family, and again, others can help support that.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
You're welcome.
And the Adoption Friday celebration will take place from 1 to 4 p.m. today at the Black Hawk County Courthouse at 315 East 5th Street in Waterloo. And coming up on Cedar Valley Today, Waterloo hosted the second annual STEM Festival. Stay with us.
Cedar Valley kids had a chance to explore science and math Thursday night. The second annual STEM Expo was being held to show the opportunities in the fields of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics to the youth of the Cedar Valley at the 5 Sullivan Brothers Convention Center. Crystal Buzza, director of the Strategic Partnership, tells that the expo hopes to open opportunities to underprivileged children. On behalf of Cedar Valley Today, we want to send a special well wishes to our weather anchor, Elizabeth Jewett. It's her final show as she's going to be heading to Wartburg West's program this next semester.
We wish you the best of luck, Elizabeth. And thank you again for joining us today for Cedar Valley Today.
Be sure to check out the Wartburg Circuit for more news on Cedar Valley. Have a great day.
Thanks for watching the Cedar Valley Today clip. For more Cedar Valley Today shows, subscribe to the Wartburg Circuit.